What is poppin', y'all? We are back with another episode of the Squid Game Aftermath podcast, season two, where I, DeAndre from season one, talk with the players of season two to see what happened on their end of this, what happened on their end of the stick, and what really went down. So today, I got a very, very special guest. She was paving her way through the game. She was knocking them out left and right, and soon she found herself at the end and all the suspense and all the pressure. It was the fourth quarter, game on the line, and I'm here to hear her story and to hear her tell her tale. Excuse me, I'm still misspoken from all the Thanksgiving festivities and need to get myself together. But without further introduction, I introduce the beautiful Miss Dajah, player 302. What's popping?
Hey, hey, thank you for having me.
Oh, well, thanks for coming on, Dajah. How you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Just like you said, recovering from the Thanksgiving holidays. So
Facts, facts. I'm still trying to get myself together. I can't even talk right because I've just had a plane delay the other day and I'm still mentally somewhere else.
I
But
feel that.
I'm excited to have you here. So, Deja, before we get started, I just wanted to go through your player profile real quick. First, I haven't asked anybody else this question yet. How do you feel about your profile picture?
I hate it. I mean, a lot of people dislike theirs, but I mean, it could be worse. I mean, obviously, like you've been through the games, you know how it is.
Yeah, they got y'all's better than ours. They actually redid a lot of y'all's. Ours it was looking chaotic.
Really?
Yeah, it was looking chaotic. So you are in North Carolina, and
North Carolina.
yeah, and then you were a detective for 4 years and won Investigator of the Year one time. Wow, how do you win that award?
You just be the best at what you do, I
How did
guess.
they
And
how
they,
did they deter how did they
so
determine like
our supervisors, they come together, they discuss meeting, they look at cases worked and versus cases closed, like just things like that.
okay? And how did you feel coming to the game as like working in law enforcement?
I felt like, well, initially before I got there, like watching season one and watching how my read people, I'm like, whoops, looks like I can't tell people, what I really do. So I felt good. I felt like I had an advantage. And then we bust out like catch or counting. And I'm like, me being an officer is not going to give me an advantage. So I started to think about slacking up and I did actually tell some of my alliances, but
Mhm.
that was never shown.
Wow, that's a big move right there. I mean,
Yeah.
you weren't worried that they were gonna think something different about you?
I read people well, so I knew who I could and couldn't tell.
Smart,
So Faith,
smart.
for example, Faith knew 361.
Okay,
She's not telling
okay.
anyone. Yeah.
It was hey, she's real because nobody probably knew too.
Yeah.
So shout out Faith. And then, so why did you decide to apply to Squid Game: The Challenge season two?
Okay. Well, obviously, aside from the money, I just like I've been a super fan of the original drama. And when I saw that they made it to a reality competition, I'm like, I could do that. So I went and did it. Honestly, yeah.
Facts, facts, facts. The show is addicting, and who doesn't want to be a part of something like that? So
Exactly.
I wish they would make a Hunger Games reality show because I'm
Oh
ready for that.
gosh. I mean, it'd be entertaining, definitely. I'll probably have to stay out of that one.
Yeah. And so, you go through the casting process and you make it on the show. Congratulations. The night before your last night in North Carolina, before you get on the plane to London, tell me how you feeling.
I am feeling okay. So it's like I was having good signs and stuff. And would you like for me to turn on like this light from my other phone to see
Anything's
myself
good
a little?
with you. I mean, if you want to, go ahead.
And
Yeah, it's dark. You can
so
see.
before Squid Games, before the flight, I was convinced that they weren't going to make us play the new games because it's so hard, like Gangi, even though I practiced. I'm like, no, we're probably gonna do like season one's games. So I ordered last minute like the relay set and the like it kept getting delayed and my driver was gonna be here at 10. And like just the very last minute, I saw the mailman like down the street and I had flagged him down and I was able to get that package. I'm like, this is God. Like, how, like, what are the coincidence that I'm watching the mailman go a different road? I flag him down, I able to get it before going to London. So I was feeling like very hopeful. Like I was feeling like I've got this in the bag. I don't know. I know I'm sure all 456 people were feeling that way, but like I truly had no worries, honestly, until the count. Now, when the count, I was worried, but after that, I was fine.
Hey, she was like Oliver and Company. No worries, man. If y'all don't
Yeah.
know that one, you got to get back in the game. And so, well, you're getting yourself prepared and whatnot. And so you get on the plane, you head over to London. It's your last night in the hotel before you enter the dorms. Now tell me how you feeling.
Last night. I'm just kinda overstimulated at this point, not gonna lie, because there's 456 different personalities. We're kind of like they didn't like completely isolate us. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, and some people they divided us by colors. And I was in the yellow cohort. So I was just thinking, oh my gosh, like everyone's like just a certified yapper, and I can get overstimulated at times. But I knew what I signed up for, so I was just thinking, I don't know how I'm going to be able to like talk to people 24/7. Like that's just kind of how I was feeling, nervous, overstimulated, but still excited.
Facts, facts. And so, you get inside, you soon walk into the dorms for the first time. Can you tell me your thoughts initially seeing everything and whatnot?
Oh my God, it felt like I stepped into the actual television set. Like to watch the dorms on TV versus you can physically walk up and touch the things. Like it was surreal, honestly.
Crazy feeling, it's
Oh
like
my
this real
gosh,
life
yeah.
in the twilight zone. And so, you get your bearings and whatnot. You're walking around seeing things, and soon the guards come up and they announce the first test slash game. And that's for you guys to get on X's or O's. Tell me what you pick and why.
Oh my gosh, that's a good question because they run through it so fast. I was originally an O. Obviously, I ended up on the X side, but yeah, because they didn't give us any instructions. They just said, hey, players, pick X or pick O. They didn't tell us it was going to be like anything to it. So I'm like, well, in the show, the O's wanted to stay. So what if they say everyone go on X, go home? So of course I initially went to O, but as I'm walking over, like I just feel this looming presence. I'm looking at X and I'm like, oh my God, like I was telling my alliances that my heart is saying X. And they're like, all right, let's go. But of course, I'm like, no, because what if O's win and I took everyone to X, then I'm never going to like, live it down. But I kept saying it, and Shamir, player 57, she grabbed my wrist and snatched me to X because I kept saying I wanted to go. She said, I'm not going to let you not follow your heart. So I owe her everything as far as how far I made it.
Hey, shout out Shamir, man.
Shout
Shout
out
out
Shamir.
Shamir.
Shout out 57.
Yeah, shout out 57. They need their redemption, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so you pick X. X marks the spot. You guys leave the room and you walk in the other room, and they announce that the game is counting. The team that counts to 456 and gets the closest wins. The team that's furthest away loses. When you heard these rules, tell me what was going through your head.
When they heard so when I feel like what makes me a good player is knowing when to allow someone who knows what they're doing to take the lead. Counting is not my forte, counting exact seconds. The only experience I have with counting seconds is counting my food down from the microwave. And even then, I'm wrong. So I said, you know what? The best thing I can do for the group is to not be the loudmouth who doesn't know what they're doing, but to be quiet and know when to listen, know when to let someone else take lead. So that's kind of what I did. I just sat down and kind of just hoped and prayed. It was miserable. I was literally just thinking about God. I told, my close family and friends that I'm going on Squid Game. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Like I was feeling so many things. So I do feel so bad for the O's. I really do. I
Yeah,
really
it was
do.
tragic. They set them up, man. It was tragic. We
Yeah.
need to release the footage from the O room. I keep saying.
Release the fouls.
Exactly. We need that. And so, the game gets started and whatnot, and you guys have a solid plan. You're making it through, and you guys win the game. So, congratulations on
Thank
making it
you.
through. What was your initial reaction after winning?
Oh my God. Like I felt on top of the world. Like I literally said, okay, we get to sleep in the dorm. Like I was satisfied with that at the time. I was because 200 something people left. Man, we were like animals in that room, just jumping and grabbing. Like, oh man.
Hey, anything goes, anything goes. And
Yeah.
so you head your way back into the dorms now, and then soon 431 comes back as well. How do you feel about that?
431 comes back. So honestly, when he first came in, I said, okay, they're just going to squib him in front of us. They saved that. But he comes in the dorms and I'm like, there's something else to it. Like, there's no way he just automatically came back. And obviously we find out a
Yeah,
little bit
we
later.
find out he's on demon time,
Oh
and
yeah.
he asks everyone what they gonna do with the money. What you gonna do? What you? Does he ask you what you're gonna do with the money?
I've never had a single conversation word with the twins at all. Like, I mean,
So
nothing
they were
against
really
them or anything.
NPCs
They were just well, not that. I don't know. Like I just
for you
well,
at
they
least.
they kind of kept to themselves a little bit in like their group, which is fine. And at that time I kind of like stayed also within my group because of my that was my strategy. Like I kind of wanted to lay low but not too low. Like I want you to like be familiar with my face, got a smile on my face, but you know, don't come around asking too many questions.
Wait, come on now. She was laying low like Warren G in the cut, man.
In the
She was
cut a little
chilling
bit.
in the cut, and so soon they do have make some motion, and they eliminate three players: 107, 285, and 286. And they are up out of there. But then it's time soon for the next game. And you guys walk through the staircase, you enter the white room, and you must divide yourself in groups of 10. Tell me how you figured out your group of 10.
So, my friend Asia, player 134, I went against her in marbles. She had pointed out that Karim, I forget his player number, but he was eliminated with Matt in the sacrifice. She was saying that Karim is very smart and strategic, and we need to be on his team. So that's exactly. I listened to her, and that's exactly what we did. And yeah,
Man, that's fact. You got the peoples on the way. You have 57 at first, and now you
134
got
coming around.
134, and then Karim. We got it takes a team. It takes a village,
We
you
yeah
know?
we were building the dream team with the pentathlon.
Okay, well, the dream team is built, but soon you find out it's pentathlon, and the dream team gets sliced up. And so, how are you feeling when you got cut in half?
I still, like I said, so I had bought all the games and prepared. So I literally told my teammate, listen, I can do anything. So I want everyone to pick which station that you're strongest at, and I'll take the leftover. I don't care what it is. I'll do it, and I'll do it well. Um, I just felt like a lot of people wanted to push for Gangi because that's kind of the star of the show. But and which of course I would have wanted to do that. But like, what if I push for Gangi and my person Megan, who did Gangi, what if she ended up getting something that she couldn't succeed at, and we lose because of that? So I didn't care who had the stars. I don't care. You can give me the easiest. You can give me the hardest. Just I want everyone at their strongest. That's what we did, and I think that's why we pulled through.
Nice. And how did you guys decide who got what? And tell me how your game went.
Yeah, so it was Ball in a Cup, Flying Stone, Gangi, House of Cards, and Jeggy. Karim's a soccer player, so he wanted Jeggy. Megan says she practiced Gangi, and I looked her in her eyes and I'm like, girl, go ahead and do it. Like, I can do it, but I believe you can. Shamir, she's a little bit older than us, and she said that that was her childhood game, Ball in a Cup. So that was hers. So the only thing that was left was the House of Cards or Flying Stone. And I told Asia, 134, I said, I'm going to let you choose because I'll take the leftovers. And she kind of went back and forth, but she settled on House of Cards and she did a great job. She did a great job. She was
Nice.
shaking a little bit, but she did her thing to shake and have to do House of Cards. Like, you're a superstar to me, girl.
Yeah. No, that's
Superstar.
wild. That's wild. So when you guys get started, how did it go? Were you guys in the lead the whole time? I know they rushed through a lot of the
No,
games.
so it was so funny. 57, Shamir, she bragged about doing this ball in the cup. And I guess her plan was she wanted to extend the string to see how long it was. She didn't plan on catching it. She just wanted to see how long it was. But she didn't like communicate that to us. So when she's throwing it and letting it go behind her back, to us, that looked like a real try. So I gave up. I just looked at her and she smiled at me. I said, girl, it's okay. It's okay, baby. Because in my head, I'm like, we're going home. Like, you over here playing around, girl. We're going to be on the first flight out of here. Don't worry about it. Matter of fact, throw the cup down. But so eventually after she saw how long the string was, she knocked it out. The other team passed ball in the cup first and made it to Flying Stone first. But Flying Stone was mine. And I had told my group ahead of time, hey, I'm not going to get it the first try, but I will get it. So it took me like maybe 4, 5 times max to do it. We left Flying Stone before the other team. Kind of ended up at Gangi. I mean, we ended up Gangi first, but they also were there first, but we made it to House of Cards first. And the other group never got past the House of Cards. So
Took care of business.
took
You
care of
got the
business.
lines and set, and you scored the game-winning touchdown in that game. So congratulations, y'all make it through that
Thank
game
you.
as well. And so you get back in the dorms, and soon we hear about this boiler room, and 272 goes and comes out with these cookies. Do you get a cookie?
No, I didn't get a cookie because, I mean, you know how it is. They don't give us sugar in the games. And I'm like, I didn't like, wean myself off of caffeine and sugar just to ruin that with a little bit of cookie. But, and I did tell everyone was skeptical of the cookies. And I mean, obviously, I didn't confess that I was in law enforcement at the time, but I said, guys, like, I'm reading them, I'm reading their language, and I don't think that it's anything suspicious. What I'm picking up is that they came out with good intentions, but now that everyone's skeptical of them, it's making them become nervous. And you guys are mistaking their nervousness for guiltiness. And I tried to tell, but nobody believed me. Everybody thought it was something up with those cookies. They're gonna have to learn to trust me one of these days.
I gotta know what's popping, man. She's saying with a conviction. You can hear it in your voice, but everyone's sussing each other out still.
I get that. I do get that.
And so, yeah, soon the cookies are whatever. They're nothing. They're no poisonous cookies and whatnot. But we find out that the guards can soon come out and they announce the 5 slowest players in the pentathlon must go to the top of the stage. And that's 180, 89, 40, 344, and 289. And you guys must vote to either eliminate them or keep them in the game. When that was said, how are you feeling?
And look at what we did. We voted them out. But no, so initially I was thinking Like, it could have been because everyone was saying they did Flying Stone in 1 or 2 tries. I found out they lied. I watched their games. So because I did mine in 4 or 5 times, and also, the one who did House of Cards on our team, it took her a little bit as well. We were worried we could have been the 2nd slowest. So people were convincing us, "Okay, if we don't vote these slowest out, are they gonna move to the next slowest?" So, I mean, I regret voting them out, but I did vote X. Like I said, I voted X, but that was only because I was worried that the next slowest would be next. But I mean, that sucks to work hard, pass your pentathlon, and still go out because you didn't do it fast enough. You still pass, so
Yeah.
that
No, that's
sucks. That
tough.
really does suck.
And that's a tough pill to swallow. They're gonna need a big jar of water for that one.
But yeah,
And so, as you voted X and they have ultimately got eliminated, but with the people, there was some people skipping up there, dancing, dug
yeah,
in. How'd you feel about that?
that's tasteless. I said what I said. That's tasteless. There's no need for that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I said the same I was watching. I was like, wow, I mean, right in the face.
Yeah,
That's bold. That's
yeah,
bold. And so there are 107 players remaining. And then soon we get these scratchers that come out. Do you get a scratcher?
absolutely not. I'm not here to gamble. I'm here to win $4.5 million. Like, no, absolutely not. And once they said we have to give up food for it, no. And I felt bad for the people with disadvantages. I said that's a hell of a night. You get no food and disadvantage. Damn, that's a hell of a night.
And we ain't doing that, coach.
We're
We
not
needs
doing
to
that.
eat something.
Yeah.
So soon that passes and whatnot. Some people get disadvantages, and the next game is approaching. You guys walk in the white room this time, and now there are four different colored rectangles: yellow, purple, blue, and pink. Which one do you pick and why?
I was on the pink team, and that's just, when I was speaking with my alliance, we all said we're gonna try and get on the same color. Let's just go pink. So we ended up on pink. Some of them got switched, like 57, she ended up on yellow. So, yeah, but we had no clue what the game would be. We were trying to decide, is it better to be grouped up, separate? Because we saw what pentathlon did to us.
Yeah, no, it's a risk y'all gotta handle this time. And Shamir is no longer part of the Avengers or Dream Team.
I know. Yeah, I know.
And so you guys get inside and you find out, you see these lines and whatnot. You find out the game is catch, throw them as cat, throw it to the catcher, and if they drop it, they're both out. So when you heard these rules, tell me what you thinking.
So, we knew that it was catch, but they didn't tell us like the ball sizes. We were thinking, could the first ball, if you're up front, be something the size of a marble? Could it be like a beach ball? And I can catch, but I'm worried about people's throws. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to kind of get closer to the front, not too close in case people throw it too fast and I don't have time to react. But I was in spot number 4 on the pink. So
How'd you end up in spot number 4?
because I picked it. Our team's like strategy was to put, they said like medium level athletes, and I considered myself that one because I mean I know I'm very coordinated, but it's been since high school. I'm 30 now, so I haven't played on a sports team since high school. So I'm like, oh, that sounds like medium athletic to me. So
Hey,
I,
well,
I hopped up first.
okay, well, she was up there, so they skipped through a lot of them early on because y'all were catching them left and right. Is there
Yeah.
anything unique or cool that happened with your catch experience?
Um, I don't think so. Not necessarily with my catch experience.
It was as simple as 1, 2, 3, easy street as they call it on the show,
Easy street. Yeah.
and they get y'all. You get up in there and sit down and watch everybody else go through their trials and tribulations. But congratulations, you make it through that one. You get
Thank
back in the
you.
dorms. There's 74 people left. Are you smelling the money yet?
Oh my gosh, double digits? Oh my gosh, like, words can't explain. Because 'cause I'm sitting here like 456 people. I would have just tried to at least make it halfway. Then you get on to double digits, and that's when you start wanting more. More and more and more.
Oh yeah, it's getting time. It's getting time. And so soon, you guys get in there, you have your sleep, you wake up, you see this doll. What do you think about getting this doll?
Yeah, so a lot of people, they don't know me by then, so they don't realize it's me. But when I wake up, I say, "Oh, no, that's a trap." Like, you briefly see me on camera saying that, and then I just disappear because that's a trap. So, I was done for with the doll. Wasn't interested in it, none
She
of
was
that.
like, "Look, I ain't need to scratch a ticket. I don't need a doll, man. I'm
Exactly. There's
here to do
never
it the right
anything
way."
good that comes from volunteering for something. Never.
Facts, facts. And so soon the dog is passed around this, that, and the third, and it ends up in 75 Natalie's hands, and she has the choice. She has to eliminate someone. And so she eliminates player 80. And, how did you feel about that?
I didn't know the, player that she eliminated. Um, I don't think she and I had a conversation, the one that she eliminated, so I didn't have a strong connection with her, and, I mean, I guess I respected the way Natalie went about it. She didn't try to be like malicious with it. From what I saw, she just was saying, "Hey, I didn't have this connection with this person, and this is who I picked." So, I mean, I respect it. As long as it wasn't me, I respect
Yeah, that would have been crazy, Natalie, had you done something like that. I would have had
it.
major problems. We already know what time I'm on. So that happens, and then eventually, Matt 98 has the doll last, and he goes in the boiler room, and he has to face a decision to put someone else up into elimination with him to get voted out. And so when he comes out, he gives this grandiose speech.
hmm
Tell me what you think about his speech.
I just knew oh my God, like he's preparing us for something with this speech. He's like, he was just going in, he was very emotional. I'm like, oh my gosh, just tell us what it is. And he said, yeah, I had to pick another player to go up against, but he didn't tell us right at the moment who the other player was. And I was just thinking at the time, I knew that Matt at the time might have like rubbed certain people the wrong way. So I'm like, oh my God, like I wonder who he's picking. I speculated maybe he might have picked one of the twins, but would people really vote the twin out when his brother is still here? You know? So
Yeah.
I was just curious to see how it was going to go. But I had more conversations with Matt. So then the twin when I did find out. So I did vote for Matt to stay.
Like, well, that was a smart decision. He does pick the twin, and it's up to them two. I wholeheartedly think that the twin was the only
Yeah,
reasonable vote to
had he
vote
had
out.
picked anyone else, I don't think I'm not sure at the time. I think people like I mean he's a New Yorker, so sometimes people mistake that for the wrong things or like personalities or wise. But I like Matt. He seemed like a cool dude.
Hey, he seemed like a cool dude, gave a good speech, and you ain't really talked to the twin. So it's like one, two, three. Y'all gotta go.
It
And
worked out
so
for him, I guess.
it worked out, and y'all vote 431 out of the game. And so now we're getting ready for the next game. But before the next game, 21 Marcus finds a note in his meal that tells him what the game is and the number. Do you ever find out about this?
He walked up to me and said, "Hey, do you have a group of six?" And I was like, "Well, I can get one." And he was like, "All right, get your group of six." But he didn't like really give, like, he didn't say, "Hey, I got a note. It says mingle." But he did walk up to me and say, "Hey, make sure you have your group of six." So I respect that. And that's when we
Okay.
start forming our little group.
It's nice. Okay, he can't say he never helped you out. I mean, you know,
Right, right,
he's
right.
talking in code, but you
Yeah, he
picked
was
that
talking
up
in
with
code, but it worked out. It worked out.
facts. And so you walk into the next game and you find out it is Mingle. And what's your first thought when you figure that out officially?
Oh my gosh. So before this, maybe that's why I was edited out of episodes one before. I was saying out loud the only way that they would get us to to get us to link up with the person we care the most for marbles is to do it during mingle. Because we're going to be so discombobulated when they call two. We're going to think that there's not enough doors. We don't have time to find some stranger that we think we can beat in marbles. We're going to grab the person we care about the most because they're going to automatically run with us. Everybody told me we're not playing mingle. So I literally forgot about that. I even, had that thought. So I forget it. And of course, the first thing I do is walk up to my friend and say, "Hey, if they call two, it's us together." And I'm like, they still played me. I literally called them out and they still played me. But I blame everybody for convincing me we would never play Mingle. But I'm excited to play. Of course, it looked fun. And, not fun, but the idea of it seemed fun at the time.
Yeah, it seemed fun in games, watching on TV. I was like, okay, I see what time y'all on. I could do it. And then it
Right.
steps up and it's time to
Right.
do it.
And
So,
that, and that was miserable after that. I'm like, oh my God.
oh, it was so yeah. Tell me your experience playing this game, throughout all the rounds.
I was defeated the whole time. I had almost gotten eliminated multiple times. Every single round that I passed, I was just barely passing it. Myself and my group, we were just barely passing it. There was, I mean, I was in the group with, we had 98 there. Natalie was here and there in our group sometimes. We had Faith, Asia, Steven, Kevin, um, and Nick. He was also there as well. So we were kind of, I don't know, we were a little bit all over the place, but thankfully we all made it out of there.
Yeah, it was getting wild and hectic and whatnot, and you guys soon decide to protest the game as seen, and so soon, you stop playing and whatnot. Are you with this protest, or are you kind of like we just got to go keep going?
So what we were protesting was actually playing Mingle. We didn't want to stop playing Squid Games. It's just that Mingle was taking a toll on us mentally, physically, but of course, that's edited out. And we just I don't know, like it was just becoming too dangerous. We're like entertainment is not as important as our welfare and our well-being. So, and honestly, I'm for the protest. If that gets us to like stop Mingle and all of us pass Mingle, I'm for it. So I was on board with it. You see me lock hands with everybody. But I tell you what, when they called two, I turned my back and grabbed my partner's hand. I said, "We're running to door 30." Like I was going to get in the room.
She's like,
We're
"Look,
getting
just
real.
in case, we're
Right.
protesting, but look, we don't
Yeah,
know what
you
time they
protest all
on."
you want, but all it takes is one person to step off that platform and run, and then everybody's gonna spread like ants. And I don't know these people. I'm not giving up my 4.5 million for this. No.
So all I had to say was the word, and we'll see who's really down with
Yeah,
Rosa Parks protest and not getting on the bus.
you're right.
Um, but y'all stand tall, essentially, and the guards come out and they soon hand you the box, and the box has the marbles. Did you have any idea right when they came out with the box it was going to be
Yeah,
marbles?
yeah. As soon as I seen the box, I'm looking. I'm like, oh, we're all locked in it too. And I tell my friend, I said, we're going against each other. She's like, maybe it's a treat. Nope, we're going against each other.
Hey, you knew what time it was right off the bat, but it was a little.
Unfortunately, yeah, it sucked though.
Yeah.
It really sucked.
Yeah, it was tough, too little, too late, and it was time to get to the Marble Arena after some time had passed for the next day. And so you get to Marbles, you're facing 134, your friend.
Hmm.
Tell me how you feeling in the moods gearing up for this game. 'Cause I know you guys had some time.
Yeah, it was very emotional. Just very emotional. We went from like grabbing each other to say, no matter what, we're making it through Mingle versus no matter what, now one of us is going home. So we went from like survival mode to just, oh my God, there's nothing we can do. We can't like just quickly switch partners. Like it's either you or I. So it's very emotional.
And so you guys start playing. Now, they kind of didn't really show your guys' game too much, but can you
Yeah.
explain your Marbles game and how that went down?
Yeah. We just both decided on a throwing game. We didn't want like leave it up to chance or fate. Um, So we decided to just get a pot, draw a line, and we're going to throw. And if they pay attention, we were actually in the same area as season one's Ashley and is Felicia.
Yeah,
We were
Felicia.
in that in their same throwing spots. So we were like, was that like planned, or you put the two black women with braids and stuff inside the
Hey, look, like they said, the lighting worked last time around.
right,
It'll work
right. We're
this
gonna
time
run
around,
it
you
back, run
know?
it back. Yeah, but
We
they
already
didn't show
we
much of our game, but it was very emotional because we did care for each other.
Yeah, y'all two friends pitted against one another, and you do come out the victor, but it's kinda bittersweet, I know.
Yeah.
Did y'all have any, like, what were your, like, final words before y'all
I
parted
told
ways?
her, I said, I'm going to win this for us. That was the final words. And I tried. I really did try.
Yeah, and then she got popped. Did you hear her death
Yeah.
or
Yeah. As soon
you
as I
heard her?
walked, like turned the corner, pop. And I'm like, oh my God. I went to like peek back, but I'm like, I don't want to see that.
Well, you do, so congratulations, you do make it through that game, and now you are back in the dorms with 22 people left. How you feeling now?
I went from just saying, oh, I want more to like, oh, I've got this. Like once it got to the 20s, I'm like, bro, like I've got this in the bag. Like I knew I was going to make it far.
Yeah,
As
no.
long as like I knew no one like targeted me and eliminated me or a game of chance, I figured I could knock out whatever's thrown at me.
Yeah, no, you're in the right spot at the right time, and we get a little montage of you with Faith 361. Can you
Yeah.
explain how you guys kind of got so close throughout the game?
I hate that they didn't show us because we were literal day ones. Like, I mean, I know we're not supposed to talk about behind the scenes at the hotel, but we were in the same cohort, the yellow cohort. So we were friends at the hotel, step into the dorm, still friends. We had our beds were beside each other. We slept together every night. We ate every single meal together. The few times that she wasn't beside me, that's when they showed her. I'm like, they really hated me. They wanted me out of 1 through 4 bad.
Hey, look, they was not giving you the hero edit this time
Right.
around.
They
Look at
said,
this.
go on, girl. Your time's coming later.
Yeah, they're like, look, we'll invest a little later. We'll invest later because they invested in some other people earlier and they were getting out, so they were trying to pivot and
Yeah.
whatnot. And so soon some time goes, and then you guys get back and you have to select monitors. Do you want to be a monitor?
I was thinking about it at first because I'm like, oh my God, I feel like monitors are going to like have some kind of control over who possibly gets eliminated. And I mean, it's only 20 something people at the time, but I didn't really know everyone personally, like to where I had a strong connection. So when they put up the monitors and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't really have the strongest bond with Max. He was cool, but I didn't really have the strongest bond with Max. I spoke to Kate a few times, and with Isaiah, I had he had lied to me about something, and I had actually mentioned it to him, and we cleared things up. So I just really didn't feel the best with the monitors, but I'm like, I'm just gonna like see what happens, and thank God I didn't try to become a monitor or anything because we see how that went down.
Yeah, no, it went down crazy in the room as we get in there. So, they get their little beds and their food and whatnot. And soon they get called up into the white room. and you get it gets announced overhead that the monitor's got to play a game and someone's getting eliminated. So you weren't hurt and you heard all this going down. What were you thinking?
Oh my god, I was just invested. I was just thinking like, "Oh god, like who's gonna come back?" Like I was just trying to like wrap my head around it. So you hear me like clarifying like, so either way, at least one person from each team is going home and then the whole other team is going home. I was just thinking about how, Lord, I'm glad they didn't call my name, and Lord, I'm glad I'm not a monitor. Because they
Yeah,
didn't show
no.
a lot of stuff before that. Like the monitors were getting to choose who was doing what chore, and I didn't get picked for a chore. So I was telling Kate, like, I was like, I think I don't like that. Like, if there's another chore, pick me. But that was the very last quote unquote. They labeled it as a chore when they called the three out. I was just thinking, I'm so thankful that they didn't call me.
Yeah, that would've been crazy, man. That would've been
Right.
crazy, and it's,
Right.
they definitely put the 3 targets in there, and so you were definitely playing a good game with everyone, keeping
Oh,
a
yeah.
positive relationship and making everybody feel at home, and so, yeah, so 3 people get called in the room, 417, 437, and 98. They have a little game being played. Eventually, uh, 417, 437, and 98 lose as well as Max 230. And so you guys don't get to see it. They cut the cameras on y'all real quick, and the TVs, y'all lose signal. But
Hmm.
Isaiah 410 and 327 come back in the game. When they first came back, tell me your initial reaction.
Yeah, so whenever they cut the cameras, I was hoping that that side had came back home because I'd had better relationships, with them at the time. So, yeah, that's what I was hoping for, and then in they walk in, and I was just, like, respecting Isaiah for being noble enough to go one-on-one against Max. Like, I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, no, he stood 10 toes down, and he took he put the responsibility in his hands, which you gotta do. It's time, there's not many people left, and you gotta make these decisions.
Mhm.
And so he picks Soon 409 Claire as the 3rd monitor. Were you feeling comfortable with this?
With Claire, yeah, yeah, because I was chatting with Claire a little bit, and I actually was the one that kinda was telling her that it's because she was also a person that didn't get picked for a chore, and I was saying like, "Girl, like, it's kinda weird that we're the only ones that didn't get picked for a chore. What do you think that's about?" So she and I had conversations, so I felt better with her as a monitor.
She it feels good and whatnot, and, the monitors go off, they have a little discussions, they peeking over, sizing everybody up because they give her the coins, and do you ever find out about these coins before she makes her decision?
Yeah, I didn't know about it until we saw that someone had been eliminated. That's why I'm like, oh my, like my heart was. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. It's too much. It's too much going on.
Hey, it was a guessing game of guess who's doing what now, and Claire, she does have to go make a decision, and she comes back out and eliminates 410 Isaiah. So when that happened, tell me your initial thought.
I was shocked because honestly, like I didn't know who had the choice to eliminate, and I was just thinking to myself, like, is it someone who I wasn't close with? Because 20 something people left. Well, it was what maybe it was less than that at the time. Um, but I'm like, I mean, that would be a valid enough reason that we hadn't had that many conversations. So I was just worried. But once I saw it wasn't my name, more relieved, then was curious to hear her reasons why.
Were you buying her reasons why?
Yeah, yeah, I didn't have a reason to believe that Claire was a liar or anything. Now obviously I didn't hear Isaiah say it, so I could only take her word for it. I mean, I was just thankful that it wasn't me, honestly. Like, if in reality, if I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no, you got to worry about yourself and in this point, you and your partner, Faith, are still here, and you are there, my number one here. We good? Let's
We're
go.
good. We're good.
And so it's soon time to you guys to go into the white room again for the next game. And 327 and 409 picks 2 pairs for to be together. And you get paired with a Faith for this game. And you guys don't know what's going on. What do you think it
Yeah.
is when you first get paired with the
I literally had no
newcomers?
idea. I'm just wondering, like, well, I didn't think we would be going against each other. I felt like we were probably going against other teams, but we didn't know what it was. I'm like, we have to butt together. And I know, um, like, I'm always like thinking, strategizing, but Faith has good juju and stuff. So I think we mellowed each other out on that team. We made a great team.
Yeah, no, definitely a power team right there. And soon you find the game is called Slides and Ladders. So when you first walk in the arena, do you know exactly what it is off the rip?
Yeah, because we see the ladders and we see the slides. So I'm like, oh, we're just stepping into a board game. But I hate games where it's like luck based or chance based. But when they said 6 out of 8 teams are going, I'm like, that's good enough odds for me. What are the odds we're one of those 2 teams?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
good odds. I like 75%.
Yeah.
That's
It's
enough for
good
me.
odds.
And so the game gets started and whatnot. Obviously, the team who gets to the top first wins, kind of like Candyland, etc. Monopoly settings. And you guys get started, and so early on in the game, we see this kind of beef between the red team and the yellow team, between Perla's team and Steven's team. Do you clock this, or are you kind of aloof to what's going on?
I mean, we're just watching, like, just sitting back watching the entertainment, like, I see they were I mean, I get it, like, the yellow team had a card that they had no choice but to hurt someone, but the red card, I mean, yeah, they had a chance to help or hurt. I mean, I do get it because if somebody sent myself and Faith down the slide, and I mean, I'd be like if I had to, like, give it back to somebody, of course, I'm gonna go for the team that did mine, so, like, I wasn't like I was just kinda, like, support both of them because at the time, I mean, I know the show doesn't show this, but, Steven was my friend's friend. So, we were working together. If you go back and watch Mingle, we're all in the same room together. And, um, and I wanted to give him a chance. I'm like, "Okay, well, after Mingle, hey, like, let's have each other's backs." And we agreed to that. So, he was gonna have myself, Faith, and his back. So, I was kinda, like, neutral. I like Pearl as well, though, so I was trying to be, like, neutral and so supportive of both.
A smart decision. She's definitely playing her cards right in this game. Steven, watch out. Don't bring her to a poker table. And so, through this game, you do get we don't get to see everything, of course, but one of the things they do show is you have to pick a team. You either land on a mystery card to take a slide down or take a team to the finish line. And you do send 17 and 318 to the finish line. How was that making that decision?
I didn't have, like, a connection or emotion with them at the time. I just felt like I did what logically made sense. No teams have passed at all yet. So it's not like, 5 out of the 6 teams passed. I would've took the slide, took my chances that way. Because if I send the last team, we're out. But no teams have made it to the dorms. It's not a big deal. Like, they're already at the top. The probability of them already making it, whether we intervene or not, is high. So I don't think that's gonna mess with the board at all. So I sent those through.
Nice. And then soon you land on another card and you must choose
We had the
to
good cards.
yeah, you was landing on all the cards right now. Pass go $200, get out of jail free essentially. And you land on another card and you at the top and you must pick a team to join you. So talk to me through your thought process of picking the team to bring
Perla
up.
was literally on the next row below us. Like, she was literally the closest to us. "Come on and join us." Like, yeah. I'm not gonna pull somebody from the very top to come join us. What if you pass me and you go to the room first? So, like, yeah, we were just playing it. We were playing it logical, honestly. Logical and as fair as we could.
Well, you said Steven was your ally. You never thought about bringing him? Well, your ally's ally. You never thought about bringing him?
So Steven did make a comment, to Faith and I, and, he was like, "Ladies, don't forget about Mingle." But, I mean, I just thought it was odd because right before that, you had a chance to help a team. You could have sent a team on ladders or, sent a team down the slide. So you had an advantage you could have given to us and you didn't. So that's the thought process Faith and I had at the time.
Interesting. Things we should have seen. Steven was mouthing off during this game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say it was like a full on alliance, but like we definitely said we're gonna have each other's back. So I will say that.
Kind of
But
guilt.
what they don't show is that Faith and I, after that one, we had said, hey Faith, well, I said, Faith, no matter what, if we have another advantage, let's give it to Steven. And she agreed. So we were going to give Steve, if we got one more advantage, we were going to give it to Steven no matter what, whether he was the furthest or anything, we wanted to give it to Steven.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. Well, you don't have the chance because y'all make it through the
You
game.
make it.
You
Roll a
make it
six
through the
for us.
game. Exactly. You get the 6 and you move on. So congratulations. You are on your way and you get up out of there. And when you get out the game, you guys are kicking it and whatnot. And I just make a note of this. I think it's funny because this is kind of the thought process I had in season 1, but all the brothers and sisters are kicking it and making an alliance. Was this like an undercover alliance or what was going on?
Well, everybody always asks why are all the, black people sitting together, but no one asks why are all the white people sitting together. It's the same thing.
That's a good point. I was thinking the same thing. I had it in my notes.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't about a race thing. And to be honest, Faith, Melissa, and myself, Melissa's player 110. She's from North Carolina as well. We were chatting it up with her. Like we were trying to. I even asked Vanessa. I'm like, hey, like who are you aligned with? And she said she wanted to be aligned with us. So I mean, like I was reaching out. Like I wasn't. My son's half white. I wasn't like doing things just because of color, but that's just how it played out.
Yeah, they make a means to show us that as well. They could have showed us any other things, but they do make a means to continuously show you, 361, Perla, and Chris all together.
Yeah, and I had plenty of like one-on-ones with. That's why Melissa, myself, and Faith were all sitting on the bed saying, "Who do we think we could win?" We were, strategizing. talking, trying to like work it
Yeah,
out. But
Melissa was down for the cookout. She was braiding hair. I saw in there. I was like, "Oh,
she's a hairdresser. Yeah,
okay." I was like, "Why ain't Deja braiding the hair?"
I do not know how to braid hair. I do not know how to braid hair.
Yeah, okay, well, y'all need a hair appointment, contact Melissa, man.
Right.
Contact Melissa. And so there's 10 players left. Now how you feeling?
Just like it's just like assuring that I meant what I said. I'm like, I got this in the bag. Like, especially after getting through the luck game, the chance to size others, I'm like, I got this in the bag. But I was just, I don't know, I guess just on edge. That's when I be kind of started coming nervous and on edge, wondering what the next game is going to be.
Facts, facts. Well, the next game soon comes, and you walk in the room and you see Trinity first and foremost, and then you see obviously Circle of Trust. What was your reaction to seeing Trinity in there?
Yeah, well, I noticed Circle of Trust first before Trinity. Trinity, they try to like get in our heads saying, "Oh, how does it feel to be top 10?" And I'm like, "Are we top 10? Because you guys took Trinity, and the money, no more money went into the pot. The numbers didn't go down. We didn't see him get squibbed. Like, come on now, don't lie to us."
Yeah. Um,
So yeah, it was cool to see Trinity, but like there, I told him it added no dramatic effect. Like we knew that Trinity was safe and okay. So we're like, "Hey, Trinity," but I was excited to see Circle of Trust mainly.
yeah, I could tell in y'all faces y'all knew he was gonna be in there because nobody just changed expression whatsoever. They kind
Exactly.
of
We're
just
like, "Oh, there's Trinity. Cool. You guys kidnapped him for no reason."
exactly, exactly. He probably got a decent meal or two as well. But it is Circle of Trust. You say this is your game. You got
That's
in the
my
lock,
game.
so you confident and whatnot. That's excellent. And so the game gets started and whatnot. We all know how it's played. The box must be set on the table. The person with the box on the table must guess who it is. And so throughout this game, you know what's going on. It's not getting set on yours. You chilling through this whole game, but you do have an instance to where it's Faith's fate on the line, and you tell me that moment of you kind of like talking with her and what you're thinking.
Yeah. So in my plan of Circle of Trust, I'm like, well, I want to be able to maintain the exact same body language that I do every round, whether I'm guilty or whether I'm innocent. So I said, because of that, I'm just not going to talk at all every round. I'm not going to like quote unquote help anyone try and figure out who it is. I'm going to keep the same position, which was a hand on my scarf on the desk and a hand on my leg. And I said, if anybody asks me questions, it's going to be like I do in court, yes or no. I'm not going to elaborate. So I'm doing that because I haven't put a box on anyone's desk, but if I do, I'm going to still be quiet. That way, no one can say, "Oh, Deja's acting different. She's being quiet now." Nope, I've been quiet all rounds. So, but when I see Faith, obviously that's my girl. I don't want to just sit here and be quiet. I want to help her. We didn't know how much money Steven had made playing poker, but we did know he played poker. So therefore, I'm like, I'm reading his body language and it's looking guilty. It's looking stressed, but is he intentionally making himself look that way, from like the poker thing or something? So I was just worried that what if I voice my opinion and Faith listens to my opinion and she goes home? I'll never forgive myself. And I know she's sweet. She probably would forgive me, but I wouldn't want her to even be in a position like that. So she gives her reasons of why she thinks it's AJ. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. That does make sense. So I tell her to go with her gut, but I do regret not like just saying, nope, Faith, listen to this.
So what was telling you that it was Steven? Like what gave it away?
When he's not guilty, he smiles, laughs, jokes, is very like animated. When he's guilty, he's just serious and he's very quiet and he looks away when he like answers it like very briefly. Like it's just like he'll look back up. So that's just
Look,
what I
I've
saw.
seen this look before. I've
I
seen this
played
look.
these games before.
Hey, the quote of the season. And so, yeah, you do get it right, but yes, you do have to kind of maintain your stillness and whatnot because then you blew your cover just like that. In the next round,
Yeah.
it could have been you easily. And so, unfortunately, Faith does go home then. And then after the game, you do ask Steven, so like, did you do anything with the box? And he admits, yeah. And he admits to putting the box on the desk and whatnot. And so how do you feel when he admits that, and how did you kinda get that out of him?
I was just annoyed because like, we had just said we're gonna have each other's backs. That's why. If he was just somebody who I didn't know from a can of paint, I'd have just been grateful that he told me the truth, that he really did take out Faith. But like, don't say that, we're gonna have each other's backs and then not. Now that's the real reason why I was annoyed. Everybody's thinking that I was just on him, just nonstop and going a little hard. But when we walked back into the dorms, he walked over to the bed. He said, "I was starting to put the box on your desk, but I saw the look on your face." So when you hear me in the myth saying, "Why would you tell me that? Now you gotta go?" That's what I was referring to. Why would you tell me you wanted to potentially try to target me and eliminate me? Why would you tell me that? Now I'm on you. Now you gotta go. But of course, with editing, they chop it up and make it like I'm saying that to what happened in the circle of trust room. Which I mean, of course, I'm still upset. You took my girl out. Now you gave me even more reason. So I was just
Yeah.
upset. I was upset.
And then, yeah, somebody saying, "I'm gonna put the box on your desk." What you mean by that? Like,
Exactly.
what
He
you
was
trying to
like,
say?
"Yeah, I was gonna put the box on your desk, but I saw the look on your face, and I knew you probably would have guessed it was me." Absolutely, sir. Why would you say that? You could have kept that to
Yeah,
yourself.
because he kept a lot of things to himself. At the end, he was blurbing everything at the end of the game. And
I get it. I get it.
did you? So I know this was like a hot topic, like on TV or whatever. But like, when he did the whole hand thing and whatnot, and so how did you feel about his reaction to that?
I didn't see. I didn't know he did that until the show came out.
Oh, okay.
It was funny. I never because I was locked in because they and also what they didn't show is he accidentally he didn't mean it, but he had been accidentally cutting me off through the entire show, the entire processing. I couldn't get a single conversation or sentence out, and sometimes so I'm like, oh my god, like I'm not talking to you. Stop, like let me have this conversation with this person. So that's all. Like I wasn't like upset or anything. Like I just wanted to really get out what I was saying to Kate. And I was only asking Kate that, not to I wasn't asking for a bad reason. I was just asking because I was cool with Kate. So I was thinking like, Kate, like, did you really think that I would come for you and your friend, or were you just doing that for gameplay? I was genuinely just curious. I didn't mean anything by it.
Yeah, he was low key trying to trigger you when said, "Don't put your hands up at me" and whatnot. It was subtle, but
I wasn't even paying him any mind. That's the crazy thing about it. I literally didn't know he did that until the show dropped.
yeah. And so soon we get into you a little bit more. They go into detail. You tell your story about growing up homeless, you graduating top 5%, being a cop while finishing college, and all thanks to your mother and whatnot. So I guess quickly on that is like how did you end up growing up homeless, and how were you able to use that and not be another quote unquote statistic?
How did I end up poverty? But I mean, that's just long story short. We just grew up poor in the South. Um, Single mother, raising three kids. And when I say homeless, like we just didn't really have a place of our own. We were like sleeping on people's couches and things like that. But my mom always believed in me. So I just started listening to her. And like I said, I felt like I can do it. And I really do. Like I don't just say it to say it. I really do feel like I can do just about anything other than rupture my Achilles at the finish line. I feel like if there's something to be done, I can learn it well enough to do it.
Hey, well, there's plenty of players who came back. Adrian Peterson tore his Achilles, and he came back to win NFL MVP. Same with some other players. So I think you got a better comeback story than anything on the way. That's
I
just
hope
my
that would be
take.
dope.
I think so. And so soon, yes, we get through and whatnot, and you guys are chilling and whatnot. There's only 6 of you left now, and soon the guards come out and they have the boxes with the suits in them. You guys know what's in the suits or in the boxes. But first they announced that you must play a game, Saw settings and whatnot. Every time he said we got to play a game, I'm thinking of Saw. But so they announced y'all doing shuffleboard and whatnot. You have to split in teams of 2. Once again, it's like, black people versus the white people in this, which was kind of funny. So how did that process with you go about of splitting the groups up? Was it just like we saw?
Yeah. So with filming, people don't realize that season two was like, it wasn't the sixth game of the original drama. So we didn't know that there could be more than three finalists. We thought there were going to be three finalists no matter what. So we didn't necessarily, like, we thought it might have been. That's why you see Vanessa and I jumping up saying, Black Tux, because we thought we were going on to three people in Circle of Trust. So yeah, it could have been Black Tux, but we realized it was miscounted. So we go to divide groups, and I just know for a fact I'm going to be with Perla. That's all. I guess Stephen and Kate were in an alliance. They were going to be together. So that's why we look at Trinity and Vanessa and say, you guys pick. We weren't, trying to make the black and white. I just was with Perla. Stephen was with Kate. I asked Vanessa, since we're bringing up race, I asked Vanessa, the white woman, to come to our team, or do you not want to be with us? So I tried, and she didn't. I guess she wanted to be on that team for her reasons, and it's fine. I don't think it was about. I don't think it was intentionally about race, but it is funny looking at how things do play out.
Yeah,
It's
it was it
funny.
was very funny. I mean, look, I look at these things when I watch TV a lot. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I mean, I notice it, and it's like,
Get it? I mean, and I do think that they're I'm not talking about the players, just in general with the world, there can be subconscious biases, like, honestly,
Yeah,
like, really, and you
100%.
you see that completely on the show. It's not that it's something we're intentionally setting out to do, but with people that we feel safe with. Like, we know that, we're not gonna be targeted and wonder, is it because the color of our skin? So maybe subconsciously, we do go with who we feel the safest with, and Perla was who I felt the safest with amongst the rest of the 6.
Yeah, no, I totally I'm with that, and, I just, I notice these little things, and it is important to kind of go where you feel, like you said, safe because one, that's another risk, and two, just it's just a comfort thing. And not to say that you wouldn't feel comfortable about anybody else. That's not at all what I'm saying. But I just noticed these nuances in reality shows to an extent of what I watch. For example, the twins eliminating 3 black people. That's something I noticed, and just that kind of thing disappoints me. But I'm not going to assume that they did that on purpose. I would never do that. But it's just something I notice and
Yeah, I
whatnot.
think we could all be a little bit more, like, mindful and conscious when we do things, though, Sometimes people are saying, "Oh, it's not because of that," but, I mean, sometimes the way it looks, it doesn't look too good, so I do understand that.
Exactly. Exactly, and it wasn't a good look for them on that, right? So that's when I was not a fan. But we move on to the game, and it's shuffleboard and whatnot. You guys kind of got to compete against each other, and then the bottom two got to go against each other. So tell me how this went for you, and whatnot.
Well, I thought I was cooked when I threw my threw my little, shuffleboard. When I saw it stop, I said, "I'm sure Trinity's an athlete." I mean, I didn't really know much about Trinity as far as his skills, so I'm like, "I bet you he's gonna blow through me, and I'm gonna have to go the second round against, one of them." So, I just thought I was cooked. But when Trinity came and slid his little short, I'm like, "Well, guess I'm safe from the game."
Hey, you did your job, and you was safe. And Trinity eventually makes it, and you make it to final 5, and you get your tux. So when you finally get that and get the tux, tell me your like emotions and what you're really thinking.
Oh my god, like, I just I don't know, like, just making it like, I'm a finalist, like, this is it, like, I was just shocked that the show did more than 3 finalists at this time because obviously we hadn't seen season 3 yet, we didn't know that there could be more than 3 finalists. I was just man, I was shocked, I was happy. I didn't think I don't know, I was just shocked, happy, ready for the dinner, ready for the steak. We had been eating nasty porridge for weeks.
Hey, you were surprised by the 5 finalists, but you was not going to be surprised by that meal. You knew what was in
Right, right, I
store.
knew it was coming from a meal. Bring the steak.
And and so just curious, how many days did they keep you guys until you had to do the steak? Or I guess how many more meals did you see it coming, or were you kind
Yeah,
of
so I think
surprised?
when we got the suits, I think we did some photo shoots with all 5 of us. And then we obviously took the suits off. Then the next day, or was it the middle that night? Oh yeah, and then the next day, that's when we spent a lot of time in the dorm doing different things, interviews and stuff. And we had dinner that night. And then Trinity left, and then we slept one more time. So yeah,
So between that time also, was there anything that you wish they did show that they did not show in between the times of you guys getting the suits and then the dinner?
getting the suits and the dinner. Um, I wish they would have just shown more dorm conversations, me speaking with a lot of the other people and getting very personal, but it's okay.
It's okay, they gotta condense it down one episode, so I
I
guess they
get it,
gotta do
yeah.
what they gotta do. And
Yeah,
so you guys get in there, you see the dinner table and whatnot. You guys, you run to the top of the table. Why'd you want that top seat?
because I was Queen Bee. I need the solo seat. So Trinity and I, we were running. We were running for that bad boy.
You made it. If this was a game of musical chairs, you would have definitely won
I
that
would have
as
won.
well.
I'd have took home the money if it was musical chairs. But I mean, gosh, it ended up working out good for Trinity because he was in, a seat with a higher number.
Yeah, facts. And so you get in there, you take a seat, and we get these mivs of you just, not really messing with 183 Steven. Was you still feeling uptight about him?
They just took every miv of me speaking about that. Like the only time I spoke about him are the only mivs they decided to show. They didn't show anything about me speaking about anything else. Just that. That's just what they showed. He was
Editing
not. He
team.
was not on my mind 24/7 the way
Okay.
they show.
Yeah, they was making it seem like he was living rent free.
Right. And I'm like, well, I guess that's the story that they want to tell for me.
The story and whatnot. And so soon you guys eat and have a great time, whatnot. And then, the voice above says somebody's about to be eliminated. And so you look on your napkins. They say, look on your napkins. You see the numbers and whatnot. It's kind of hard to see the numbers even on
Yeah.
TV. I
Yeah. It
was
was
like,
kind of hard. Yeah.
I was like, "What are y'all talking about?" You know?
Right. They're just making up stuff. I'm kidding.
Exactly, exactly, and so
Yeah.
you guys get your numbers and whatnot, and they explain the game is, go in there, grab a coin. Whoever has a black coin at the end of the game in numerical order of the napkins is going home. And so when you heard the rules of this game and what the game was, how were you feeling?
Feeling nervous, but I said, let me fix my outside appearance because we're going back to circle of trust. We're going back to that monotone expression, and I've got to get to business. I knew I had an average chance. If you're in spot one, you have excellent. Spot two is good. Spot three is average. And then spot four is fair, and spot five is bad. So I'm like, I've got average. That's okay. Like I truly felt like it would have came down if we played the game. It would have came down to me either having to try to eliminate Perla or Vanessa in the coin.
Yeah, that's what you was thinking, but things went left real quick, and
Yeah, they took a turn.
yeah, Steven, Trinity, he goes up to the first, he's first, and well, Steven's first, and he goes to Trinity, and Trinity says, "Pick the black one," or "I want to pick the black one, I'll pick black one." He was saying this from my point of view, it looked like he was just saying it to like reverse psychology
I
himself. I
thought
didn't.
so at the time, yeah. That's why I made a little joke. I was like, "Dang, Trinity, like, you coulda sat on the other side of me."
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the same thing as you. I'm like, oh, that's kind of smart, I guess. Like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I really want to do the settings, and he did it. And then he was serious. And so when he was serious and going through with this and he came to you, you even offer, hey, like, don't do this, don't do this. Were you what made you kind of just want to quote unquote sacrifice yourself for him in that moment?
I was being genuine, it's not and the reason why I was like, "Hey, I'll take the black coin," because I could look I knew he was telling the truth. I knew he wasn't trying to trick me. So, because I already had an advantage and knew it was him, it's not necessarily me sacrificing myself. I woulda had 2 other chances. So, I'm like, "Trinity, like, don't sacrifice," because what wasn't shown is he was doing it for Vanessa and for myself. He connected with Vanessa's story the most, and he said he connected with mine second. So, it was really she and I that day he wanted to do it. He enjoyed everybody's stories, but those were the 2. And I'm like, "Trinity, like, don't give up your spot. We're so close. We're in the black tux. You have a, what, 20% chance that you could be a millionaire. Do not walk away from it because of me. Like, you're a good man. I was over here praying, asking God, please give me a way to pass the test." And lo and behold, Trinity was the way. But that's why I was like, I'll take the black coin. I'll take my chances. Now, if I was the last person, I don't know how would I have been, wanted, I don't know, maybe I would have been a little more hesitant, but because I was in an average spot, I'm like, Trinity, like, you don't have to do this. Don't do this.
Yeah, no, that was real big of you to do that and say that. And he was like, nah, like this is what's going on. And he eventually self eliminates. So
Yeah.
how do you feel about his sacrifice?
Grateful. I didn't want to take it for granted, and I didn't want to take it lightly. I didn't want his sacrifice to have been for nothing.
It was a crazy move. I was not expecting it, and no, I mean nobody was. So
Yeah.
it was insane. And so you make it past that game. So congratulations, final four, and you finish up dinner. You head out. Now, what do you thinking this last thing could be?
Oh my God, I was doing my best to speculate what it could be, because I had expected to go into the finale with 2 people, like season 1, and I thought they were gonna do like Dachi, like, whoever flips it first or something. But, so with 4 people, I'm like, "What can you play with 4 people?" And I just said, "I know it's gonna be another freaking game of chance or game of luck, but I just want something to where we have the control in our hands." And lo and behold, red light, green light, we do have it in our hands.
It is in your hands. You walk in the room, you see the doll and whatnot. And so your first thoughts on when the doors open, kind of tell me what was going through your head and what you eventually, when you were seeing
Yeah,
what
well,
you
the door
saw.
is open, it's pitch black, so we're looking around like, "What is this? What room is this?" Trying to look and see what's the floor made of. Is it sand or what? And, then we hear the doll, and I'm like, "Oh, now we're doing red light, green light because we thought we were doing it in the beginning. Here it is.
Hey, here it is. It's time. They explain
It's
the
t
rules and it's on and popping. So was this room cold at all?
it was normal. It was inside.
It was inside? Okay. And so yeah, they say it's time and whatnot. Do you have any questions on like, I guess, before the game starts of, "Oh, are we doing this in tuxes? Are we switching out? Like, is there anything that kind of
No,
goes
I
through my
mean,
you
we obviously, you know how it goes. The final game gets played in the dress
yeah.
suit.
Okay. So they announce it, you guys get in your spots and whatnot. You say you want the outside because you need to see everyone and whatnot. That was part of your strategy. And the game soon gets started. And the first round comes, boom, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Out of here.
She didn't
How
stop
was
in
that?
time. Yeah, well, we saw it happen in real time. So that's why I was going slow and I was rearing up the back. I know I wanted to shuffle sideways, and I'm like, we're not going to be able to turn our head to look to see where people are at because I want to be close behind them, but not so far to where I'd screw myself. So I'm like, let me get to the side so I can turn sideways and shuffle sideways and keep an eye on everyone. Um, so that's what I did. And when it got down, because I knew they were going to go too fast and pop. So when it got down to two people, I'm like, oh, now I need to turn, and face the doll because I'll gain a second of time if I do that.
Yeah. And so how was it for you? I know I talked to everybody about this in season 1, but how was it you doing with red light, green light? Was it easy, like holding the position, or were you kind of
No,
feeling
I
some
mean,
type of way?
we didn't hold it for as long as you guys did. I would say we held it for like 15 to 20 minutes each time, which they don't show that. So you're freezing, you're locked up, and then you're going on a quick takeoff after
Yeah.
that. So it was
And
definitely
so
hard. And it's like the nerves, like you're trying to keep your body from shaking from nerves too. So I'm like, oh my God, I hope the doll doesn't pick up
I
nerves.
know.
But
Yeah. You
like you
thinking
see
it's
them
like
zoom in, me gulping.
yeah, they bring all the cameras out, drone. Well, I don't know if
Oh
they have
yeah.
drones, but they
Yeah,
have
they had
drones
drones.
too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that adds to effect right in your face and all these things, and you just gotta just stare,
Right.
even
That
if you move your
wind and
eyeball.
stuff. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, "Look, y'all, we really gotta do all this."
Right,
And
right.
so
My legs hurting. Let's go.
facts, facts. And so Steven eventually gets out, tries to get on. I don't know what he was I know what he was doing, but he was too late.
Yeah.
He's out, so it's just you and Perla and the last 2, y'all pretty much neck and neck, really even keel. Now, like, what do you think? And the finish line is so close.
Yeah, so like I said, I was intentionally behind because I knew that people faster would like get popped. But I was looking and I'm like, Pearl is probably not going to move and get popped. It's going to be about who crosses first, not about who's popped. So I'm like, well, let me speed up. So I intentionally close the gap. Then I intentionally go neck and neck. And then the next one was going to be to just pass her. But we see that my ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, we see what happens and whatnot. You couldn't hold the position. Obviously, nobody could and whatnot. And unfortunately, you moved and you get popped right there. And so,
Well, yeah,
we've heard all,
I never got popped. That
well,
was whatever they did, but no,
they
it's
didn't
not
pop
about
you.
even. So when I took off to run, that's where it popped at. So when I stopped, I felt the pain, and I stopped in an awkward position. But you know how it is. It's not just seconds. We're paused. So I'm like, hey, I stopped before. She said red light, so I'm just gonna call medic because I think something's wrong. Like I want to like just a check and adjust. You know the magic of behind the scenes. So I'm like we'll be mindful of where Pearl is at, be mindful of where my foot was at. Just check me out real quick, and then let's continue from there. That was my mindset at the time before, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's good they did that. We had a lot of medics called in ours too, and some people, they were able to continue the game,
Yeah.
because
So that honestly, that's the mindset that I had at the time before I realized how bad it was.
so when you realize this was like, "Oh, this ain't no pulled hamstring or nothing like or my foot's just hurting and whatnot." When you left and realized that you could not continue, how did tell me like your emotions that went through that?
I didn't accept it until I got to the hospital and they confirmed that the Achilles was ruptured. Yeah. So I mean, I had broken a bone before, but I had never tore a muscle or a tendon or anything. So the feeling of it, I didn't know how to describe it. I didn't know how to explain it. And I'm like, I know that my leg isn't working. I don't know if it's my adrenaline high or I have a high pain tolerance, but when I went to try to stand up, my body collapsed. So everybody's like, oh, you should have crawled. You should have limped. Can I limp faster than another human can run? I don't think people think about stuff before they say it. It's just
Yeah, who's saying
NPCs,
stuff like that? Well,
NPCs. But and also another thing, they're like, "Oh, you're a cop. You don't know how to run." Does me being a cop make me immune to injuries? Professional athletes get these injuries. Come on, let's use our brains. But
come on, people. 1 plus 1 gotta equal 2 in
I
this.
mean, people
It
don't use their
ain't
brains sometimes.
exactly. I mean, you can't move after a ruptured Achilles. I mean, let alone
Exactly.
any other injuries. That's one of
Yeah.
the worst ones to come back from, And so I wanna see somebody else hold a position after they rupture something, and then we can
Yeah,
talk.
but it's more than just holding the position. You have to be faster than another person
That
that in
too.
good health.
That
That's the
too.
main thing. If it was
That
just
too.
about holding the position, I'd have done my best to balance on one leg if that gets me the win, but I also have to run.
Facts, facts. And so when you found out that, obviously you found that out and whatnot, and the game is over, and you're dealing with what you got to deal with in the hospital. Can you tell me like the thoughts that are kind of going through your head, and just when you have your time alone and whatnot?
I can't even say what was going through my head at the time. It's just like so much, so much. being that close and then an injury like that taken out.
Yeah, no, it was very unfortunate. I was devastated, watching it, and it was I hate to see I just hate to see something end like that. Like,
Yeah,
congratulations, Pearl, on
that
winning, but
that's not a way to go out. It just sucked because like for the rest of my life, I'm never gonna know what would have happened had my Achilles stayed intact. What would have happened? You
do
know?
you think there was anything that was preventable for the injury, or you just think it just was happening, just is
I
freak
mean,
accident?
you see what we were running in
I
that,
I'm just curious on
and
your point of view. I have my
and
thoughts.
yeah, oh yeah, and then also, I mean, I felt like some warm ups before the show probably
Oh, you
should
guys
have
didn't
been
warm
done.
up?
Not for that one. We warmed up for catch.
We even warmed up for red light, green light.
And
We had
I don't
a
know why. Yeah, I really wish that they just would have allowed us. I guess they called the white shoes plimsolls.
Mhm.
They should have gave us some black plimsolls if you still wanted us in the tuxedos. But like I said, I do have a lot of thoughts for that
Yeah.
game, but
No, that's shocking to hear just 'cause, like, you warmed up for catch, a game you ain't even gotta move in real I
that
mean, you
you ain't
gotta
gonna
maybe
move.
run in that game, but,
Yeah,
like, for our red light, green
but
light.
a high intensity competitive red light, green light out of some shoes that are fresh out the box, not meant to run, let alone we're like, in this high stress, we're paused for minutes at a time, locked up, muscles frozen, then going to a straight takeoff position. Like that's just a recipe for disaster, in
Yeah,
my
no,
opinion.
I agree. I'm shocked that they didn't take those precautions like they did our red light, green light, and y'all running in those shoes. I guess I don't know how things, production isn't perfect. Show everyone's not perfect. I get that. But in this stakes, in this, this
Uh,
last stage of the game, it's like you got to check all the boxes, like nothing can
Pretty
be,
much.
there's testers for every game. We know this. There's testers that does test every game. Did the testers have the tuxes and the dress shoes on?
Right. Yeah, that's actually a good question. Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, they test every game. So like I don't know. It's just a lot of questions that are fair to put out there. And so, when you finally get back to North Carolina, can you tell me how you feeling now?
Um, I guess I was just focused on recovery.
Hmm.
I left with two good legs, and now I'm like come back kind of quote unquote missing a leg. So I'm just trying to like, um, just adjust to my life, and I'm still in recovery for it. So I mean, I still can't do everything that I could do before I left to go to the games.
How much longer estimated recovery do you think you have
So
left?
there's no set time. Everybody's different. Originally, they were saying 6 to 9 months, but when I was at my last visit with my doctor, he said some people go over a year. So it just depends on that person and how you're recovering. Just a lot of different factors.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's just a highly, highly, highly just unfortunate thing. I mean, I've
Yeah,
nobody got hurt in this whole show,
yeah.
and this happens at the end, and I
At the
know.
literal finish line, I went from
Yeah.
having the best luck to God. Look at that, the worst luck, I guess.
Yeah, no, still devastated thinking about that. I can't. I know you probably don't want to watch it again. I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah, I haven't. I've only watched it one time. I can't bring myself to watch it again because I
Facts.
wanted to see. I know they see. They had the audience reaction to us, and like I know you see me kind of just like sit and just like that. Like I was just like just reliving it, going through PTSD. But even still going through that, I still try to like snap myself out of it and make sure I gave thanks to Perla. But like I was like, yeah, I was traumatized because them showing me injured in the same like seconds later shows her winning. So I'm like, I know I'm having like a breakdown in a moment, but I still made sure to give respect and her flowers while also trying to
Yeah,
deal with what I'm going on.
yeah. No, I think people
But
they
I'm pretty sure people are probably reading into that wrong.
sorry about technical difficulties. So, but yes, like I was saying, like people just be saying this, that, and the third, and whatnot. And you go through something like that, you're gonna have your own reaction. It happened back to back, so like you're not gonna be just cheering for joy and the biggest smile on your face right when this happened, and then somebody else happens to win. This is you that you're going through with. And so I don't like all the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
extra
think it
foolishness
just gave me
going on.
PTSD. Like I literally that was the first time I had seen myself get injured. I mean, I went through it and I experienced it, but that was the first time I watched it and I watched how close I was and all that stuff. So it just gave me PTSD. So that I was really just going through like a moment, trying not to like break down crying. I'm like, I don't want to mess my makeup on because I know we're doing a panel afterwards. So it's like
Hmm.
I was experiencing a lot of things, but I still pulled myself out of it the best I could to, give congratulations. But I was going through something.
Yeah, you did it with grace. I mean, From an outside
Oh, it's
perspective, it
breaking
looked
up
like
again. I don't know if you're
what
saying
is
anything.
what is going on with my thing? Hold on. Can you hear me now? Almost out of here anyways, but my last question, I guess, is, what's your biggest lesson or takeaway from being a part of Squid Game: The Challenge Season 2?
Biggest takeaway to just go with your gut and go with your first instincts, like with the circle of trust thing. So I think that was probably my biggest takeaway. I mean, I knew I read people well and, I've got a good sense of things, but that just kind of re reassured me and confirmed it for me.
Nice, nice, and then would you do another season of Squid Game: The Challenge?
Absolutely. I got to get that money. I didn't come for the cameras. I came for the money. So got to. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, they should have automatically brought me back. If they knew they wanted to bring a player from season two back, it should have automatically been me. I mean, shout out to Viper. I'm glad, he got it. But I'm just saying, like, dang, they should have automatically put me in there as well if they knew that I went out as tragically as I did. But
Hey, bring her back or bring her back when it's top 5, y'all. One of the 2 needs to happen. Like, cause let her get the rematch in
or
Red Light,
or
Green
or or
Light.
do an all stars, do an all star season or something.
Facts, man. She needs her redemption, and that's not the way to end the show, man. You gotta give her her
Oh, yeah.
flowers one way or another. Or get her a
Yeah.
brand deal or something. Like, do something, yo. Like, we need
Something.
something,
Something.
you know? Well, Deja, I'm terribly sorry that happened. I was rooting for you. I even got your number right here.
You
I
did.
was rooting for you and whatnot, or
Hey,
looking around.
302.
Yeah, 302 in the
I
building.
really do appreciate the support.
And so, big supporter here. And thank you so much for joining the podcast. I really appreciate having you
Absolutely.
on. And this was great to get to talk with you. And yeah, it was a pleasure. So I'm honored and very
Yeah,
blessed to
absolutely. I
have you
enjoyed
on here.
myself.
Cool. And so
Thank you for having
everybody
me.
else back home, thank you guys for joining. Peace, blessings, deuces. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.